Hey guys, what's up? This is episode 5 of the Hidden Nows podcast. I have another very special guest who's going to share his story today. His name is Giorgio. He's an up and coming rapper from the Melbourne area. We recently met and I'm truly inspired by him, by what he does. He puts in them hidden hours, and just hearing his story inspired me. So I hope you guys will feel inspired as well. How's it going, man?
What's going on, bro? Nice to see you again.
How you feeling? How you feeling? What have you been up to during this lockdown?
Bro, literally just making hella music, man. Just grinding every night. Not much else we can do during lockdown and isolation. So just literally making beats, writing verses, bro. 24/7. Trying to get to the studio when I can. Just trying to stack up those songs, bro.
Yeah, bro. And what got you into rapping? Like, what about that art form, man? Like, why choose rapping as an expression?
Yeah, man. Cool. So I consider myself to be, I guess, a very emotional person. So me
Yeah.
putting I guess my thoughts and all that sort of stuff into music really helped me deal with my own thoughts and how to process how I feel.
Hmm.
So I like to display myself and express myself through music. And rap's just always been around me, man. Always used to obviously watch videos when I was younger, and I really love the American scene, and that's obviously eventually where I want to be. Just always been around the art form, man, and always been around music, and I'm totally in love with it, bro.
Sick, bro. And did anyone or did anything inspire you growing up to become an artist?
Yeah, man, for sure. I went to my first Wu-Tang concert when I
Yeah.
was, I think, 10. They came out here,
Shit.
and I was watching these guys, and they were like literally 40 years old, and they were still rocking it. And my cousin took me, and from then on, I thought, damn, I just really wanted to be on stage and make things happen. And from there, I started writing my own music, and eventually, it just grew from a hobby and a passion into something that I figured I could actually take somewhere, and started growing a fan base. But yeah, I guess going to that first ever Wu-Tang concert was my first experience with rap, which was awesome.
That's sick, bro. And what does that writing process look like? Like, how do you get in the
Writing
zone?
process, it's hard to get into the zone some days. Some days, you go to think of things and you just can't. I try to deal with, I guess, real life experiences and turn them
Hmm.
into songs and tracks. But my writing process, if I want to smash out a writing session, what I usually do is I drive down to somewhere cool that I like or somewhere vibey, and I'll just sit there, play some beats through the car speaker, and literally just take a notepad, man, and write whatever I'm feeling, and I'll turn those into songs. So that's essentially my writing process.
I've seen on your Instagram story, you're in front of Mercedes. Was that you trying to get some inspiration
It
for
definitely
your?
was. I need that. Definitely need some inspiration someday.
Yeah.
And looking at things that are sort of unattainable at this point in time really helps me sort of visualize and sort of get into the zone to attain those things eventually. So that sort of stuff motivates me for sure.
Yeah, bro, and I think it's sick how everyone I've interviewed has talked about visualization. Is there is there a I know you're talking about you getting stuff off your chest, but is that really the main purpose behind your music? Is that it's just for you to get stuff off your chest, or you trying to inspire kids as well and things like that?
Definitely a mixture of both, bro. So it started, I guess, out as me trying to express myself, but from then, um, I've received thousands of messages saying how much that my music's helped someone or touched someone,
Yeah,
especially when I was a lot younger, starting out. And from there, it sort of made me realize, look, I can be a voice for the young white kid that's trying to, if they're too scared to do something, they're too scared to put music out, too scared to chase a hobby or a craft. I really want to be that voice that's able to help and motivate. Just anything's possible. It's not that hard if you put your head to it and you really focus and zone in and you put in those hidden hours like we always talk about. That sort of stuff definitely inspires me.
yeah, and just talking about how you said like being that young white kid. Obviously, rap culture is predominantly black, and um, it's interesting to see how rap culture is influencing our like Melbourne, because in America
Yeah,
it's a bit different, but in Melbourne I can see that it's actually more diverse because we're just very multicultural place. Has that helped you, bro? Like in terms of the like the trap culture, like the trap
yeah,
rap culture coming down here, like yeah, has that helped you?
yeah, dude, 100%. So I guess when I was a bit younger and started making music, the scene was literally nothing at the moment. I mean, you hit likes of Hilltop Hoods, you had Bliss and SO. And that was pretty much predominantly it. That was anyone making moves.
Hmm.
From there, I guess Melbourne's now turned, obviously, like you said, it's a very multicultural place. So you've got a lot of nationalities and you've got a lot of inspiration around. And that's just pulled out so many different demographics in Melbourne. And not only Melbourne, just Australia as a whole mix of different people's situations and life experiences. And you've got heaps of different people putting that into music, and it's crazy. The trap scene down here is definitely growing. It's probably not where everyone wants it to be just yet, but it's
Yeah.
definitely starting to be noticed. I mean, you look at someone like Kwame, for example, and he's already got some stuff on A1 Hip Hop, which is absolutely crazy. There's so many big artists coming out of Oz at the moment. Even Kid Leroy, he's absolutely killing it,
Hmm.
and that sort of stuff is dope to see. It just obviously helps our platform heaps.
And talking about these big names, that all these rising stars that are coming out of Melbourne. I know when we were speaking, you told me that you've opened up for some shows
Yeah,
early on in like your journey, man. What was it like? What was that experience like?
crazy. The first time I ever jumped on stage, I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Opening up for it was on a thing. It was with a tour with a guy called Dex. All day was there. It was just a crazy vibe being 15 years old. I mean, I had 15 minutes, which was obviously little, but it was absolutely amazing experience to be able to do that. I remember I think I pulled like 75 to 100 people to that show, and the
Yeah.
promoters were so happy because they just didn't think I'd be able to do that at all. And it was crazy. It was a crazy vibe. I still get goosebumps thinking about it. Um, from there, that really motivated me to keep going. And playing support acts for me I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
my second show after that was I had a night at Laundry where we opened up, and we just played into a crowd of predominantly black people that really wouldn't have known my music
Yeah.
beforehand. But I think after performing them, I sort of gained a bit of street cred, and it was
Yeah.
crazy. Just having people who had never heard of me fuck with my music, so it was
Yeah.
unreal. Really cool experience.
And what's it like getting on stage for you? Like, is that something you love, bro?
It's the
That
best
feeling?
feeling. It's the best feeling. I wish I could capture that feeling and have it every day of my life. Feel so energized, and you feel like everyone's there for you. It's an unreal feeling. I'll never forget the first time I jumped on stage. I was 15. I had all these butterflies in my stomach, and one of the other dudes that was performing came up to me, and he gave me a shot, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I had a shot of vodka, and 3 shots in the end, and I just went on stage and absolutely killed it. It killed any butterflies that I had. It made me feel
Yeah.
so much more comfortable.
Yeah.
And from then on now, it's just crazy. I can't wait to get back on stage.
You would have got addicted to it, like first, as soon
Yeah,
as you got a hit of it, man.
oh, definitely, man. Definitely addictive. That's my form of drug. Playing shows. That for me, that just motivates me, energizes me. That's all I need.
Yeah, bro. And like hearing people talk about what they love just inspires me even more. And
Sure.
the reason I want to have you guys on this platform is just to show people you're still on the grind. Like, what's it like balancing having to have a day job and then
Yeah.
having to work at night and you're hitting hours? What's that like, man?
It's crazy, man. Definitely been putting in hidden hours for sure every single night
Yeah.
for the last probably 4 or 5 years. So I guess 5 years ago I started taking music really seriously, and I started growing my page and all that sort of stuff, which was great. But just to drop music on Instagram isn't enough. You need to be
Hmm.
putting out good quality content on Spotify. You need to be getting in touch with promoters. You need to be getting in touch
Yeah.
with booking agencies, trying to get management, trying to book shows. All of that sort of stuff takes a lot of time and hidden hours.
Yeah.
I mean, my day job's 9 to 5:30, but it's obviously much more than that. I mean, I'm in the office 8 in the morning. I'm out of the office at 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. I come home, I eat, and then from literally 8 till 3 a.m. every night, I'm making music, if not more. And that's just my cycle. It's a crazy cycle, but it is what it is. If I
Yeah.
want to do it, that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
Because you obviously need a day job to be able to fund music, because
Yeah.
there's obviously a lot of costs involved with trying to get your music out and trying to get plays and trying to get promoted. It definitely takes a lot of time, and there is heaps of stuff that goes into it that people don't even realize. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and I think one thing that is important about what you're saying is still keeping that day job, because I know a lot of kids, like, people have sold them the dream that they can just quit it and then, like, try to figure their way out. But there's nothing wrong with having that day job, because I mean, the more money you have, the more money you're gonna have to put into your passion and stuff, bro.
For sure, for sure.
And um, if on that note, is if there was one thing that you could tell any kid or an aspiring artist that you wish you knew, like when you started this journey, is there something you would want to
Yeah,
tell them?
for sure. Look, I guess having a team around you is so important.
Yeah.
I've got my team around me, and without my team, any of the stuff that I do would not be possible.
Hmm.
It's really hard to do it by yourself. When you're first getting started, make good connections in the industry. Go watch shows. Go to people's shows that you've never even heard of that are in the scene that you're trying to bust into. Reach out on Instagram, DM people. Without doing that sort of stuff, you're not giving yourself the exposure and the limelight. Um, just from me going to shows, messaging people, getting to know people in the industry, that's paved way for me for so many opportunities. That's how I got my first gig playing a show. So you've really got to always be on your toes to reach out to people, and having a strong team behind you is, you don't want to do this stuff alone, because once you get to where you want to be, it's not fun being alone. Having a
Yeah.
team that you've come up with is the most important thing, and it's so rewarding. And
Yeah.
we're starting to see that slowly. Obviously, there's a hell of a long way to go, but having a team around me makes it all the much more enjoyable.
Yeah. And talking about having a team, bro, I know a lot of people, especially me, who are doing their thing. At first, was it hard for you to actually rely on a team? Because at first you kind of want to do everything yourself. What was that transition like, having to rely on people?
Well, it's crazy. You're giving your trust in people doing things for you. You're giving all of your trust, and if they don't do their things on their end, no matter how good your music is, it's not going to get heard and it's not going to get plays.
Yeah.
So essentially, for me, finding the right people for my team was really important. I've cut off a heap of friends. I've
Yeah.
lost a heap of friends. I've gained a
Yeah.
heap of friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
My circle's small, you know that. And at the end of the day, having the team that's with me now, I trust everyone in my team. I even look at someone like my mate Justin. He looks at booking my shows. He looks at getting management. He looks at getting deals. He's always DMing artists. He's always reaching out to people for me. And for me, that stuff's so important because it gives me more time to focus on my craft.
Hmm.
And for me to perfect music, because it's really hard by yourself to balance all of that with a day job. There's just not enough hours
Yeah.
in the day. I only get 5 hours sleep a night, essentially.
Yeah. So yeah, like for people listening, it's fine to trust a team. It's actually better to have a team. You're gonna grow way quicker with a team. And I know it's a
That's
tough process for me as well, just to like trust other people. But
for sure.
once you get past that hump, I think you'll definitely enjoy it, and yeah, you'll grow quicker.
Sure.
Is there anyone that maybe like growing up or even now, is there any one person or hero that inspires you, and you
Yeah.
take a lot of guidance from?
Yeah, bro, 100%. If we're looking at people in the industry, I mean, I could name 100, but the
Yeah.
person that probably reaches out to me the most, I don't know, it's probably so typical to say, but Eminem. You look at
Yeah.
someone that's come from a white background, that's busted out into a scene that was predominantly full of, black people, and in a scene that was so difficult to bust into at that time. And he proved for the young white kid like me that anything was possible. And if you
Hmm.
consistently make good music and you make music that's real for you and real to your audience, people will listen to it no matter what color
Yeah.
you are or no matter who you are.
Yeah.
And for me, that was one of the most important things. And from there, you know, I look up to a heap of people in the industry. I look up to a heap of my friends that I've got. But I draw a lot of inspiration from Gary Vaynerchuk as well. If
Yeah.
you obviously watch his videos as well.
Yeah.
And his videos just, it's all about the hustle. And the day you stop hustling is the day you're not going to make it. You need to put in those hours. You need to put in your hidden hours every single day if it's something that you want to chase and it's something that you aspire to do and aspire to be. So I'd say my main two forms of people that I gain that sort of stuff from would definitely be Gary Vaynerchuk at the moment and Eminem.
Yeah.
They're just people who inspire me the most.
Yeah, definitely, man. Gary Vee's my dude as well. And I
100%.
just want to quickly touch up talking about Gary Vee, man. Like, I think one of the most important skills in life is like sales and marketing, bro. And could you like quickly touch on, like, for these young kids, because obviously they think it's just the creative half that's what's going to get them there. But could you talk a little bit about the importance of the other two?
100%. So having people in your team that can obviously deal with the whole marketing aspect of things, as well as putting yourself out there. For example, Instagram for me is my main social form of contact that I've got with my audience and engagement.
Yeah.
And having good quality content that I consistently put out on a weekly basis you know, there's ads that you need to run. You run ads that link to your profile.
Yeah.
You know, you run ads that link to your music. You've got to have ads for everything, and you've got to have back end all set up. You've got to have a lot of things set up. It's not just as easy as putting out music. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. You know, just to have the music part of things down pat is all good, but if you don't have the other 50% done, well, you're not going to reach exposure, and you're not going to get those deals that are waiting for you, because there is opportunity out there, but the right people are going to see it with right marketing and the right content you're putting out. So essentially, that's one of the most important things.
For sure, bro. This one's gonna be a tough one, but if you had for all the new fans, and like if you had a new fan and you had to pick one track, I know it's gonna be hard, but one track that represents you the most, what would you get them to listen to?
Damn, I'll probably say, I got a heap of stuff coming out. It'll probably be one of my songs that's coming up.
Okay.
Called Brothers. I previewed it on my Instagram last week. That song to me is so important because it's pretty much just literally lays out the team that I've built around me, the team that's come up with me. And that song for a new fan to hear is great because it shows that I'm still down to earth, obviously.
Yeah.
It shows I'm just normal, just like you guys. And that song for me really encapsulates how I feel about my team and how I feel about my friends around me. Because, like I said, you don't want to do this stuff by yourself. It's lonely at night at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're writing and recording music. It's definitely more fun to do with one of your brothers or one of your best friends sitting next to you and recording and getting content. Or you're sitting in the studio at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you know it's just one crazy vibe when you're doing it with people that you love around you.
Yeah, bro. Sure. Damn, bro. I appreciate you spreading all this value, spreading all this love for everyone that's watching, man. Because I know you're like at the level where you're just about to break out, and like everything's kind of like starting to like really snowball. So with that being said, what's ahead for you, bro? Like, what are you and your team? What's coming out? What albums, or are you planning to do live shows after the lockdown, bro? What's up?
100%. I've got a couple live support acts lined up, which I've got to keep on the hush at the moment, but they will happen once this lockdown shit is over, which I cannot wait for. I've got about 3 support acts waiting to come up, and there's some really well-known artists, which is going to be absolutely crazy. Other than that, I've got an album that I'm working on behind the scenes, which is going to come out soon as well. I've got 2 tracks dropping this month. I've got Tell Me My Name dropping on April 16th. I've got Brothers dropping on April 9th. And I've got Big coming out tomorrow. That song for me is probably going to be one of my biggest. It's a real catchy song, man. And it's so vibey. And it's just me to a T. I love that song. The process that went into making that song was absolutely crazy. And it was one of my first studio sessions where I really vibed, and I had, all my best friends in the room with me. And it was just crazy. It brought the best out in me. I wouldn't have been able to record that without the people around me. So essentially just more music, more shows, obviously keep hustling, keep putting in those hidden hours and trying to bust out.
Yeah, and something I'm taking from you right now, I hope everyone can hear as well, is if you listen to him talk about his, when he talks about what his love, his passion, you can see how intricate the details are. He loves all the small details. He's got high attention to detail. So when you're doing something you love, it's just going to drive you to be that much better. And to finish off this podcast, bro, like, why don't you let everyone know where they can find you, all your links. I'll add all the links as well, but where can they find you? Where can they reach out to you if they want to work with you? What's up?
For sure. So if you guys are interested, my Instagram is Giorgio Antonio. That's Antonio spelled with a V, just because we Barbie like that. If you want to hit me on the email, Antonio. It's antoniomusic@gmail.com. If you want to hit me on the Facebook, it's Giorgio Farrakis. Hit me up. I'd be obviously honored to work with anyone that wants to work.
Dope, bro. Dope. And thank you for coming on today. And this is episode 5 of the Hidden Hours podcast. There's more coming. Everybody, just make sure you always remember you have the power to change your situation, no matter what situation you're in. You have the power within you. So keep grinding, keep hustling, and reach out to either Giorgio or me if you want to work with us, or if you just want to share ideas. So yeah, take care, guys.